every morning. I will wake up at 5 a.m. from now on. These promises sound strong and exciting. In the moment, we feel motivated. We imagine a new life. But after a few days, real life comes. We feel tired. We have work, family, stress, or low energy. Then we miss one day. After that, it becomes easier to stop completely. The promise was too big for our current system. When promises are too big, failure becomes very easy. And each failure hurts self-trust. Your brain says, "Again we said something big, and again we did not do it." This is not because you are weak. It is because the step was too large. If you try to lift a weight that is too heavy, your muscles fail. It does not mean your body is useless. It means the weight is wrong for your level. So here is the new rule, called the micro-promise rule. You make promises that are very small, almost too easy. For example, instead of saying, "I will study English for 2 hours," you say, "I will study English for 10 minutes." Instead of, "I will exercise for 1 hour," you say, "I will move my body for 5 minutes." These promises may look small, but they are realistic. You can do them even on a bad day. Here is the key sentence for this step. Make promises so small that failure feels silly. This means the promise is so simple that you almost laugh if you think about not doing it. 10 minutes of study, 5 minutes of reading, 1 page of writing, 1 short walk. These actions are small, but they are powerful because you can repeat them every day. Why does this work? Because your brain needs success experiences. Every time you complete a small promise, your brain feels a small win. It says, "I said I would do this, and I did it." This creates evidence. Evidence builds belief. Slowly, your brain starts to believe, "I am a person who keeps promises." This belief is the foundation of self-trust. Also, small promises reduce fear. Big promises create pressure. Pressure creates stress. Stress makes action harder. Small promises feel safe. When something feels safe, you are more likely to start. And starting is the most important part. After 10 minutes, you may even continue more. But even if you stop at 10 minutes, you still win, because you kept your word. Over time, these small actions grow your confidence. Confidence is not built by big dreams. It is built by small, completed actions. When you collect many small successes, your self-image changes. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and fails. You start seeing yourself as someone who decides and does. So this first step teaches us something important. To build self-trust, we do not need big, heroic actions. We need small, honest promises that we keep again and again. This is how credibility with yourself slowly comes back. Step 2. Do it even when you don't feel like it. Now we move to the second step, and this one is about emotional maturity. It is about understanding your feelings, but not letting your feelings control every action. This step is simple to say, but powerful to practice. Do it even when you don't feel like it. Let us talk about feelings first. Feelings change all the time. In the morning, you may feel energetic. In the afternoon, you may feel tired. One day you feel excited and motivated. Another day you feel bored, stressed, or lazy. This is normal. Feelings are like weather. Sometimes it is sunny. Sometimes it is cloudy. Sometimes it rains. We cannot fully control the weather, and we also cannot fully control our feelings. The problem comes when we believe this sentence: I will act when I feel motivated. Motivation feels good, but it is not always there. If you only study when you feel excited, you will study only on a few days. If you only exercise when you feel energetic, you will move your body only sometimes. Then your progress becomes slow, and your self-trust becomes weak, because your actions depend on your mood. Self-trust grows in a different way. It grows when your actions are stronger than your temporary feelings. This does not mean you ignore your emotions completely. It means you understand them, but you still choose a small action. Trust is built from behavior, not from emotion. Your brain does not say, "Oh, you felt motivated. Good job." Your brain says, "You said you would do this, and you did it." That is what builds belief. Here is a powerful sentence you can repeat. I don't need motivation. I need movement. Movement means small action. It means starting, even in a small way. When you move, even a little, you break the control of your mood. You show yourself, I can act even when I don't feel perfect. That is emotional strength. Let's look at simple examples. Imagine you plan to study English for 5 minutes today. Later, you feel tired. Your mind says, not today. You are too tired. In this moment, you have two choices. You can follow the feeling, or you can follow your promise. If you open your book and study for just 5 minutes, something important happens. You feel a little proud. You think, even when I was tired, I still did it. That moment builds self-trust. Another example is walking. You promised to walk for 5 minutes, but you feel lazy and want to stay on the sofa. Again, you can listen to the lazy feeling, or you can stand up and walk a little. After 5 minutes, you may still feel tired, but you also feel stronger inside. You kept your word. That is the win. This step teaches your brain a new lesson. Before, your brain learned, when I feel bad, I stop. Now it learns, even when I feel bad, I can still do a small action. This changes your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who moves forward, not someone who waits for perfect feelings. So remember, feelings go up and down, but your promises can stay steady. You do not need to feel amazing to take a small step. You only need to move a little. And each time you do, your self-trust becomes stronger and more stable. Step 3. Track your promises. Proof for your brain. Now we come to the third step, and this step is about something very practical and very powerful. It is about tracking your promises. In simple words, it means you keep a small record of the promises you make and the promises you complete. This step helps your brain see progress, not only feel it. Many times, we do good things, but we forget them. Our mind often remembers mistakes more than successes. You may study English 3 days in a week, but if you miss one day, your brain says, "You failed." It forgets the 3 good days. That is why tracking is important. It gives your brain clear proof of what you are doing right. You do not need anything special. You can use a simple notebook, a piece of paper, or a calendar on the wall. Some people use a notebook and write the date every day. Others use a calendar and mark the days. The tool is not important. The important thing is that you see your actions with your eyes. Here is how you do it. First, choose your small promise. For example, I will study English for 10 minutes, or I will walk for 5 minutes. When you finish the action, you put a small check mark, like this. That check mark looks small, but it carries a big message. It says, I did what I said. Over time, you will see many check marks in a row. This is visible success. Why does this matter so much? Because your brain believes what it sees again and again. When you look at the notebook or calendar and see many check marks, your brain receives a message. I keep my word. This is not imagination. This is evidence. Evidence means real proof. And here is the key idea. Evidence builds belief. Before, your brain may have believed, I always start and stop. That belief came from past experience. Now you are creating new experiences. Every check mark is a new story about you. Slowly, the old belief becomes weaker, and the new belief becomes stronger. You start to feel more confident, not because someone told you that you are good, but because you see your own actions. Tracking also helps on difficult days. Imagine one day you feel tired and think, it doesn't matter if I skip today. Then you look at your calendar and see many check marks from the last days. You think, I don't want to break this line. The record reminds you of your effort. It supports your decision to continue. Another good thing about tracking is clarity. Sometimes we feel like we are not improving, but when we see our record, we understand that progress is happening. It may be slow, but it is real. This reduces negative self-talk and helps you stay calm. So this step teaches your brain through your eyes. Instead of only thinking, maybe I am improving, you can see it. A simple notebook, a calendar, and a small check mark can change how you see yourself. They turn invisible effort into visible proof, and that proof slowly rebuilds self-trust from the inside. Step 4. Stop self-attack. How to respond after failure. Now we move to the fourth step, and this step is very important for emotional safety. It is about how you talk to yourself after you make a mistake, because the truth is, you will miss a day sometimes. You are human. You will feel tired, busy, stressed, or distracted. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to not destroy your self-trust with your own words when you fail. Let's look at the old way many people react. You promise to study, but you don't. Immediately, your mind says, I am useless. I have no discipline. I always fail. These sentences feel strong and emotional, but they are not helpful. They do not make you stronger. They make you feel ashamed and small. And when you feel ashamed, you actually want to escape more, not try again. Self-attack pushes you away from action. Now let's look at the new way. You miss your promise. Instead of attacking yourself, you say, I missed today. I restart now. That sentence is calm. It is honest, but not cruel. You admit the mistake, but you do not attack your identity. You focus on the next step, not on the past. This keeps your system safe and stable. Here is an important sentence to remember. Breaking a promise is a mistake. Quitting is the real break. A mistake is one moment. Quitting is a decision. If you miss one day but return the next day, your self-trust can still grow. But if you say, I failed, so I stop, then the system really breaks. The difference is not in the mistake. The difference is in the response. Think about a child learning to walk. The child falls many times. We do not say, you are useless at walking. We say, stand up and try again. We are patient and kind. But with ourselves, we often become very hard and strict. This makes learning slower, not faster. Growth needs patience. When you speak kindly to yourself, you stay in the game. You keep trying. Your brain learns, even if I fall, I can continue. This builds strong self-trust because you are not afraid of mistakes. You know that one bad day does not destroy everything. You learn to separate behavior from identity. You did not do the action, but you are not a bad person. Also, positive self-talk does not mean lying to yourself. You are not saying, everything is perfect. You are saying, I made a mistake, and I choose to continue. That is responsibility with kindness. It is a mature way of thinking. So when you miss a promise, pause for a moment. Take a breath. Say, okay, I missed today. I restart now. Then do the next small action. That moment of restarting is very powerful. It shows that you are stronger than one mistake. And each time you respond this way, you protect your self-trust instead of breaking it. What happens when you build self-trust? Now let's talk about the beautiful results that come when you slowly build self-trust. This part is very motivating because it shows why all these small actions matter. When you keep small promises again and again, something changes inside you. The change is quiet,